Hey, what's up? Today, we are going to tear down some emails, but not any emails. In fact, we are going to tear down the follow-ups, not just the original email. And I think there is a lot to learn from that. I'm Jeremy, founder of quickmail.io, the best cold email software you can find on earth for cold outreach. And
what's up? I'm Jack, Chief Lead Generation Officer at salesspread.com, because it's hard to turn strangers into qualified leads and eventually clients. So if you'd like help cracking your market and you're in the B2B space, waiting to fill your calendar with great productive sales calls, head over to salespread.com/contact, schedule a free little cold email, cold outreach, lead generation, brainstorm session, and I'll happily share what's working today. All right, Jeremy, let's do this.
All right, let's do this. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to look at a few follow-ups that Jack and I decided to share straight from our inbox.
That's right. Okay, we're beginning. We're going to keep the pace a little bit quicker because we've got lots to share here. The first follow-up reads, subject, Jeremy, can I send you these? ? Body says, hi, Jeremy. Sure you're busy. Just bumping this to the top of your inbox, !
Yes,
this is a horrible bump email.
Exactly, because people keep on bumping their emails to my inbox. That's why I'm busy.
Yeah, it's very common, but it's also lazy. Always add something new to the conversation. This is a boring bump. It could have been an opportunity to share something else that you want this prospect to know about.
Nailed it. Let's move on.
Second follow-up, same prospector. Says, hey, Jeremy, just got some really great results from a client. I wanted to share them with you real quick. Matthew has been building. And then it looks like they forgot to add something. Says, I'd love to do the same for you. Let's get in a call signature. I think this is a typo.
I'm not sure
spell check reminder.
There's a point.
Maybe
missing.
It's an image that didn't go through.
No, it's not an image. I looked into it. It's almost like there's a punctuation missing, which makes me think they probably forgot to type their entire email.
Right. So you want to proofread, go ahead and preview your messages. What's next? Definitely include the results you're talking about, and you may want to make it really obvious how you got those results. Yeah. So naturally, this is a weird message to reply to. I also hate the CTA. Let's get in a call, period.
Yeah, it's very weak. Ooh. And at the same time, because this sort of confused me, I don't even know who Matthew is and what it's referred to. And so I just ignored it.
Okay, let's move on. Same subject line, same thread. Hey, Jeremy, just wanted to follow up about taking your website to the next level. I have some more ideas of how to transform your website into a clean, professional website that actually makes sales. Ouch. I just added that. That wasn't in the body. It says, let me know if you're interested in hearing them. I said, ouch, because it implies that you do not have a professional website and it does not actually make sales. So
it's true, Jack.
That's not going to work.
No, it's not.
No, I doubt it. But yeah, don't bash your prospect. That's a very difficult way to get meetings, y'all.
Jack, you got a rubbish website. Can I help you?
Yeah, let me save yourself from any future embarrassment. All right, let's keep on keeping on.
But one thing that is interesting, and I would say that this email actually started adding something new. Like I have some more ideas on how to transform your website. That part is actually pretty good, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. What idea do you got? Right? Especially if you've been building a fake relationship, which means like, you've been sending a lot of follow-ups. So this person's really persistent. If you come from this angle, I think you got a shot. But if you come, like Jack said, from the angle of bashing or like, showing your superiority, you're probably not going to go very far.
Yeah, let me tag on that, Jeremy, because you bring up a good point. I have seen a lot of success when you just openly share things inside the email. Maybe it's a video, maybe it's just spelling out one of the things that you would change, one of your ideas. It's a lot easier to get someone's interest if you've proven that you've got something worth sharing. The risk on your end, Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're not sure if it'd be a total waste of time to talk to this person. And if they would only wow you inside the email with, again, a case study, an example idea or video, that would reduce that risk, right?
Correct. At the same time, I would still, especially because, I'm the founder of QuickMail, I would still be hesitant to know if, like, is that just a trick, a sort of like trick video or something like that. In fact, um, one of my clients used to reach out to me manually before we had a discussion, and they actually created a video just for me, and I thought it was fake. I didn't even open it. And it's only by pure luck that I actually went back, see this email, opened the video, and then realized, oh, it was just done for me, actually. And then I reached out and then realized that actually there was no automation. She was actually doing all those emails manually.
Yeah. So we have to keep in mind your video, your content is not going to have 100% view rate. The email itself won't. So it's a numbers
True.
game. But if it turns out that watchers end up more likely to jump on a call, that's a good thing.
Can I just add one quick thing in this case? If you realize that this person didn't actually watch, because you could do something like Loom videos to make sure that people actually watch, do reach out with a different channel, because otherwise that's a big waste of your time to do those videos.
Boom shakalaka. Check out our multi-channel episode for more. Okay, let's move on.
That's your one.
This is a different thread.
Yeah,
it's a different thread, isn't it?
No, yeah. It's not my one.
Okay, perfect. So this is a different conversation here. So it says partnership opportunities. Hi there. I wanted to follow up on my previous email. For your convenience, just select a number below and I will handle the rest. I'm super interested. Please follow up. I am interested. Please follow up at a later time. 3, I have no idea what LiveRamp is. 4, not interested, but thanks. So options 1 through 4, looking forward to hearing back. Cheers. So my advice, yes, this is dated. Yes, a lot of people have done something like this, but I still think the principle of making life very easy for your prospect is a good idea. If you haven't tried something like this, test it out in a later part of your sequence.
That's my question to you, actually, Jack. Not what's the difference, but what do you prefer instinctively? Do you prefer this or do you prefer breakup emails? Because it's quite close, right?
It is. If you plan on using a 1, 2, 3, 4 email, you should use it just before the breakup. So it's like a last ditch effort. Do you really want a 1 character response? Not really, but it's better than nothing. You're sort of getting ready to close the book at this point. But I do think it makes it really easy to get a reply. You may want to test it out.
One thing I like as well, if this doesn't actually work, you do send saying like, look, well, I'm not sure how to formulate that, but the idea is basically, just so you know, I'll be reaching out to 6 months to see if there is any change. If you really don't want me to reach out to you, just let me know, or just reply something, and I'll be happy to take you off of my list or something like that.
There you go.
Next one.
Okay, we're going to carry on. This is a follow-up email, subject line, how about today? It says, hi, name. Thought I'd shoot you another email and see if you had a few minutes today for a quick call. I saw that company is growing the team, and I thought since you were in leadership, which is a terrible wasted opportunity for personalization, but okay, since you're in leadership.
You're in leadership.
Yeah. That would apply to everybody in, all right, whatever. You might be interested in learning about our CRM tool that is designed to easily ramp new sales hires, as well as keep them on target to exceed revenue goals month over month. I'd like to learn more about your goals as a company and discuss how our tool Velocify can help you grow. Do you have 5 to 10 minutes open today?
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, that made me laugh, because telling you, since you're in leadership or since you're whatever, it's like, I know where I am. It's like, you don't need to tell me like, I've been doing my prospecting right, and therefore I know you are a senior marketing person. It's like, I know it. So instead, say something like, since leaders are more inclined to these days, or something like that, like group, put me in a group and teach me something, instead of actually telling me who I am. I know who I am. I don't need you. And worst thing is, like, when you get it wrong like this, you look like an idiot.
Okay, so I'm going to Acknowledge those points, Jeremy. You're right.
Love it.
I'll bring something I did like about this
Cool.
template here. This is a nice reset. So they've followed up in this example twice. And this is the third touch here. And they took a totally different thread, new subject line, new approach, as if I never saw the first two emails, it would still make sense. And I liked how it was a good reset email.
Yeah, it's well said. I think we got some examples as well. The next one is actually a good example. Oh, the one after. Anyway, let's look at it.
Let's check it out. So we've got subject line, PandaDoc post conference name. Okay,
Oh,
so it'd be like
would I
post
be like
post
add if I actually
MozCon
just
or
add
something.
one more thing into this thing? It's like, how about today? I found it extremely aggressive. It's like I didn't hear from you maybe from 3 days. Like, okay, now let's get on a call right now, kind of thing. Like, do you have 5 to 10 minutes open today? I thought that was very aggressive, but maybe it works. I don't know.
Yeah, something that's nice is we're reading a lot of follow-ups here, and the tone varies from a quick bump that says nothing to a really hard sale, as we'll get to later. But
I got 2 minutes
I'd put this
today,
on.
Jack. You can jump in my time slot.
Yeah, I agree. Who does that?
I
Okay,
don't know.
let's move on. The subject line here, PandaDoc post conference names. It'd be like post MozCon or something. Hey, Jack, any thoughts on my last email? Best. So classic bump message should have included something, anything at all, a PS that shares something that you wish more prospects knew about your brand. I mean, they're probably going to read it and it's just a wasted opportunity. How long have I been saying that about bump emails, Jeremy? Long time.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Follow up to this one. Same subject line. It says, hey, Jack, haven't heard back on this yet. Hopefully the dust has settled since conference name and we can pick up where we left off. I'll stop there. I'm not even going to read the rest of the message. I thought that was a refreshing way to start a follow-up email.
I really like it too. And in fact, they could have, instead of saying, haven't heard back on this yet, that could have been dropped and starts right away is like, hopefully the dust has settled since the conference.
Yeah.
And I think that was nice. It's like assuming positive intent on your reader, like saying like, dude, it's okay. I get it. When I come back from conferences, my inbox is full without actually saying it. It's very refreshing. Love it too.
Yeah. Yeah. So the takeaway is if you were using an event to trigger your prospecting list, feel free to mention that time has passed since that event happened. Maybe since their website went down or they just brought on a new fractional CTO or something, right? So that's a nice thing to do. I'm okay to carry on, Jeremy, unless you have other notes on this template.
On this template particularly?
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, yeah. So one of the things they say after that, which I find pretty good, is that they say, check out this sales and marketing agency using PandaDoc and, whatever. And then they show you like a mini case study. I thought it was good, but I think it will be even more powerful to sort of like mention it like since the conference, this is what happened, right? So that's like keeping me informed on their story, on their journey, and how I can be part of it if I want to, instead of just saying like, hey, here's more data to you. Or it could be something like something you may have missed at the conference or something that we forgot to advertise at the conference. But, give an excuse to say, I'm going to add more value to you instead of just, I'm going to say again, some of the things that some of my marketing material that I've been building like for months already.
Well said, Jeremy. I'm right there. Make it relevant to the prospect by tying it back into that common event.
Yep.
Nailed it. Okay. This is a new thread here. Let's get recalibrated. The subject is quick question, Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. Quick ping. Dash, I know you're busy, period. I wanted to ensure that you received my initial email. Thoughts, ? Would you be open to locking something in now? It'll take 30 seconds and then a booking link. So I have to jump on this one. I know this is your email,
please.
Jeremy.
No, please.
But it's all about them. It's like, why? So on my notes here, I have no WIIFM, no what's in it for me at all. Did you get my last email? I know you're busy. Would you be open to locking stuff? It'll take, it's like the one value add in this is the fact that booking takes 30 seconds. But
minutes.
But yeah, so no. It says
Oh,
it'll
no.
take
Yeah, that's
30
right.
seconds to
30
book.
seconds to book. Yeah.
So how hard would it have been to say, I wanted to ensure that you receive my initial email about helping QuickMail with whatever. Even that is not perfect, but it's at least getting a little bit closer to why you should care about this. And that's glaringly, obviously missing from this follow-up.
I like the quick ping, which is, just showing that you're going to do a bump email. So it's like, heads up, this is going to be a bump email.
And why do you like it? Why do you like it?
I like it because I can quickly discard it if I don't need it. It's like, it basically
Exactly.
saves me my time. But it's cool, right? It's considerate in that sense. Now, my question to you, Jack, is what do you prefer, this email or an email that says, like one of the one we read, like, just checking you received my previous email, and then you just a one-liner? Ooh, tricky.
Now, this is a little bit, it's asking more than did you see my last email question mark. It's saying
True.
book a 15-minute call with me. And I don't see a reason why I want to spend 15 minutes with the person on the other end of this email. So no, I don't appreciate it. And I would rather the crappy bump email personally.
Okay, cool. Let's carry on then. Well, one thing that I want the listeners to notice is that this is a very extremely aggressive sequence. I received the first email on the 28th of February, and I guess there was the weekend between. And then on the 2nd of March, I received the first bump email. And then the 3rd of March is the next one. And this one is a new thread.
Okay, this is a new thread here. It says, Jeremy, 15 or go for a lap, question mark. Jeremy, does this sound worth discussing further, or should I go for a lap? ... Would love to schedule a call with you. Do any of these times work? Yeah, I still hate it. It's the same thing.
Yeah, let's move on. Classic bump email. 3rd follow-up. And it's the 5th of March. I think I had a rest of 2 days before receiving this one.
Okay. So subject is quick queue, Jeremy. Now, if I see that template subject line, I know for sure it's a cold outreach message, for sure.
Tell us.
So let's go down. It says, Jeremy, this is a long one. Here we go. Haven't heard from you, and I'm curious. Quick question. All of the software companies we work with have 1 or 2 problems, usually both. Number 1, lead gen. Number 2, sales. We help Patrick from Lead Engine Pro solve these 2 problems and go from 0 to 1 million in 4 months. Here's what Patrick had to say.
I think there is an
And
image
then testimonial, I guess. And this is interested in seeing if we can do the same for QuickMail. Let's talk. Okay. You start off, Jeremy. Let me hear what you think.
A few things. First of all is I think the CTA is pretty weak, which is kind of funny. It's like you do a bump email with a very strong CTA, and then you do a normal kind of email with information and new information, and then you just say, let's talk. So here I would have appreciate, like, here's my link in Canada if this makes sense to talk. And for the other thing, I thought it was pretty interesting in a sense that they bring new information, right? It's like, usually they are, those are the 2 problems we can help with. So that helps me also to very quickly say, okay, I'm interested or I'm not interested. And then they have a mini case study, which I know you're a fan of. And I thought it was pretty okay. A bit too verbose, I would say, but overall, much better than just a bump email for sure.
Yeah, let me actually do some editing here. Cool. What do you think if it looked like this?
Yeah,
is that a better email?
I knew you would do that. I knew you would do that. 100%.
Let's help our audio listeners here. What I did was I deleted everything between first name and we help Patrick from Lead Engine Pro solve these 2 problems and go from 0 to 1 million in 4 months. Here's what Patrick had to say, interested in seeing. So I just cut the 2 problem thing. What do you think?
I think it works much better. Definitely 100%. Because when I saw it was that big, I didn't read it. It took a TearDown podcast in order to figure out that I should read it fully.
Yeah, but look, that's a hell of a case study. So I would just not cover it up in a bunch of lines.
That people just, do short emails for a classic bump, And then, or they go for very lengthy emails for like, can they just like reach the middle? Like, give us like 1 or 2 lines of fresh new information and then move on.
Yeah. Okay. So the next bump that happened, I think 3 days later,
Yeah, 3 days
is so
later.
long. I don't even want to read it on the cast. You're
Yeah, it
welcome
is
to,
very long.
Jeremy, if you think our listeners need it.
Now they'll
But
get bored.
it's like an article. What is your takeaways here, Jeremy?
Okay, one thing I like, I will start with one thing I like, is that they didn't actually keep on using the same thread, which signals, honestly, that I'm going to tell and share new information with you, and also forces the writer to express more and less lazy thing like, check out the previous email, the work is on you, check out the previous email I sent in order to figure out what I'm talking about. So I kind of like the fact that when you're starting a new thread, you kind of have to explain things, and maybe you're going to go for a different angle, like instead of time saving, it's going to be cost savings, or it's going to be productivity increase, or some stuff like that. So that I like. The second thing is, obviously this is way too big even for follow-ups. Like, you wouldn't want to do that. No chance to read it.
Right. It's just the wrong channel for 500 words, you know?
Yeah.
So we've got a similar story here with the fifth follow-up. It's also pretty long. It's almost like this person hired like a sales letter writer.
You know what I was thinking is that this guy is probably going for newsletter type of approach, where he knows that people will probably not read everything until one day they will. It's like the classic, like, what is it, like Dan Miller, like the guy from Storyboard, Story Brand.
Donald Miller,
Yeah, Donald Miller. So he actually he said he didn't care that people actually read his newsletter. What is important is like people see his name and keep on associating him every time they receive an email. And I think that kind of makes sense. That's interesting. So I would be curious to know if this actually works, but because to some extent it works on me, but only because I put them automatically in my cold email swap file folder. I'm actually quite curious, like, how many more emails am I going to receive? Like, we're the 11th, so it's just like one day after. I'm expecting an email from you. What's his name? I
I
don't
was
have
just
his
going to
name.
ask, do you know this person's name by now without looking at it?
No, I don't, but I know his
Do
picture.
you know this company name?
No, but I know his picture. So when I see this email, I know it's him,
Okay.
which is interesting, right? So pay attention to your picture in Google, guys.
Yeah, he needs to send you 5 more follows before you know his company name, and then you'll start worrying about it. But that's interesting. All right, we're getting somewhere here. Let's scroll down. This is the final thread that we're going to tear down.
Yeah.
It's from our friends at Pipe Candy.
That's right.
We had, I think episode 101. We
Yes,
had
I believe
Ashwin
so.
from Pipe Candy.
Yeah, awesome guy.
Yeah. And in my opinion, he knows a thing or two about cold email, that's for sure. So let's look at what Ashwin has put together. I'm assuming that's him. All right. So the subject is impossible to understand. If you didn't see the first one, it says elementary, my dear first name. Body reads, hi, first name. Did you get a chance to read my previous email? If I could tell you which companies sell on multiple channels, how many SKUs they have, and the email IDs of the decision maker in each company, you can go all Don Carleone on them. Make them an offer they can't refuse. How does your calendar look for a call early next week? Okay. So what I'm seeing is there's one feature, let's call it, getting data on ideal decision makers that is carrying the weight of this email. It's like, if that is really important to the reader, they will book a call. And if that's true, they will book a call. If it's false, they'll ignore.
Yes, I like it very much, except like, how would you like it like that?
Exactly.
Yes.
Or even better.
Did you get a chance to read my previous email? It's just fluff. It also,
you could cut
said,
that.
like, if I read your previous email and the value proposition is different in this email, I won't read it because I will assume this is a typical bump email. And so, yes, I read your first email, I decided not to carry on. Boom, you're gone.
Yeah, that's a good edit there. I would say it's a much stronger email. Just getting that out of the email. And by that, I mean, did you get a chance to read? Okay.
What did you think, Jack, of the imagine, those sort of like telling words? Like, if
Yeah,
I
if
could
I
tell
could,
you,
yeah.
what about a word? So they're basically painting a picture. And I really like that for a follow-up, because it's like, okay, I'm going to spend 3 seconds imagining what you actually want to imagine. And if I resonate with it, like, mine is going to be way more powerful.
Yeah. So to me, it's missing something. Ashwin, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but I don't like cute copywriting. It's cute when you say go all Don Carleone on them, make him an offer they can't refuse. That doesn't really mean something to everybody. If you don't know who Don Carleone is, I don't even think I'm pronouncing it right, because I don't know that guy very well. I
Me
think he's a
neither.
mobster or something. You're going to miss the message. It's cute. It may hit home with 1% of your audience who's a huge mobster fan, but
Maybe
everyone
that's
else
his
may be like,
audience.
but it's
Mobsters.
not. I know it's not. So what I would have done is I'd said, if I could tell you which companies sell on multiple channels, how many SKUs they have, and the emails IDs of the decision maker in each company, would you be interested? Question mark. Would you want to test out a couple rows of data to give to your sales team? Question mark.
Probably we'll circulate back to
Would you
you.
want to take
I
a
say,
look at some?
would that make your company, triple X this year or something like that? Like, keep the imagineering
Or yeah,
benefit.
would that help your sales team stay productive this
Oh yeah,
quarter?
yeah. If I have a
Or
sales
surpass
team
their
and I'm
targets?
struggling with that, definitely
Yeah.
great idea.
So I
Hey,
don't really
but it's
I
not
don't really
bad.
like the cuteness, but let's carry on. We've got one last follow-up for what I would consider a thorough follow-up teardown episode here. It's a follow-up to the message I just read. It says, "Hi, first name. Maybe you missed my emails. I'm positive that we can be a great fit for you and can widen your sales pipeline. We can perhaps continue this over email if you're busy."
It's interesting. What do you
Okay,
think?
so we haven't seen somebody offer to continue this over email before.
Exactly.
Which is something new.
Changing
Right.
channels.
I also like how it says, just calls out, maybe you missed my emails. Like, let's call it how it is. This is a follow-up outreach. And it's really strong. This is like Wolf of Wall Street confidence coming out here. I'm positive that we can be a great fit for you and widen your sales pipeline.
Yeah.
I would like to be backed up. If you're like some of the hundreds of SaaS companies we've worked with, I'm positive that you're going to like what you see. You're going to be impressed. We can continue this over email. I would like it to be a little bit more concrete. What can you do?
Yeah,
We
I
got a
think
bonus.
you nailed it. And what do you mean? Is the guess you're busy is a different thing?
So that's thank you. That is actually the final one. That's the last one to this thread. Guess you're busy. Can I check in with you again in a few weeks? And I liked that CTA. That's like just before you'd send the breakup email. I think there was a 14-day gap between the one I just read and this one. So it's almost replacing the breakup email. Guess you're quite busy. Can I check in with you again in a few weeks? What do you think of that?
Well, that's what I suggested at the very beginning. I say I really like this type of thing, like asking them permission to come back to them in 6 months. And I guess it's as close as it can be. I really like that, except I probably will change the guess you're quite busy with something else. What could it be?
Yes, getting better sales data is not a priority at the moment. Can I check in with you in a few months? And that way, when they read it, they're reminded of what it is that you do.
Yeah, it's closer, definitely. It is better than guess you're quite busy, because maybe you're not that busy, and then it's like, I decided not to reply to your email. I don't quite like those assumptions that, if I don't reply to your email, it's because I'm busy, or because I didn't see your email, or, those sort of things like, no, man, I'm on top of my inbox, and to stay polite on a
Wanker.
podcast. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, no, I'm on top of my stuff. Don't assume things that are not right. I decided not to reply to you, right? So it's
How
like
dare you?
exactly, pretty much. So I would prefer like otherwise it would be better if he put it out on the open and say, I'm going to assume that you're quite busy, putting the possibility here that you're wrong. And I think that's cool. I'm going to add, so maybe I would start something like, I'm going to assume that you're quite busy. Do you mind if I check again with you in a few weeks? Right? I
I
think
wouldn't even do weeks though. Weeks
yeah,
to me sounds too early. I would do a few months.
a few hours.
All
And then
right, Jeremy.
yeah, I think that otherwise this is pretty good, as good as it gets, and hopefully I think the audience got a lot more ideas about how to improve their follow-ups, because I think follow-ups don't get enough love, and we always focus on the first email, but honestly, there's quite a lot of work to be done on follow-ups. What do you think, Jack?
I think you're absolutely right. And if you want to understand how to write an even better follow-up, our cold email masterclass could be what you need to unlock some untapped responses in the cold email inbox. Check out course.quickmail.io
That's right.
to get all the goods. The sales page tells you what you need to know. And it's for fans of the podcast that want a little bit more. So that's why we put the course together.
Well said.
Boom shakalaka. Jeremy, thank you for a great cast.
Thanks, Jack. Awesome cast.
See ya.